This is do-it-yourself hamster bedding and litter. Just save all your cardboard. You can chop it up with scissors, or you can tear it up with your hand. That's the first step. Well, it's about the second or third. First step, save, then chop up, and we'll get to the other parts in just a minute. Alright, so after you get all these chopped up and ripped up, which size really doesn't matter, it can be big, small, doesn't have to be perfect. If you want, you can go in, lay it in for bedding, or you can do what I like to do, which is soak it in hot water for about 5 minutes, and what that does is it breaks it down so that it's actually softer. Now, why would anybody want to do this, in case you're wondering? Well, it's recycling. Also, it's cheaper. This is the litter part, so that's where the hamster usually uses the bathroom. You don't really need to go pay for more when you got it at the house. When we went shopping, like for groceries and stuff, you use everything to make sure there's no ink or anything like that that may poison your hamster. After this is done, you soak it for 5 minutes, you let it dry. Once it dries out, it's nice and soft, and it's ready to be put in with your hamster. Now for the bedding part, we're fixing to start on it. Okay, so your hamster bedding is a little bit different than the hamster litter. The litter, you should know, just like cat litter, what it's for, and bedding is what it's for, bedding, to sleep. So you want to use like wrapping paper, and not Christmas kind, but packaging wrapping paper, brown, no ink or anything. You shred it up into little pieces, and you do the same thing you did with litter. And you also, you know, make it softer by putting it in water, which you don't have to, but if you want a happy hamster, that's what you do. But we're going to chop this up now, and we're going to leave that soaking for a little bit. There's the litter, and here's the bedding we're going to start on. The water will kind of look like this, have some of the textures, kind of a brownish light. That means that, you know, soaked it up, put it in a pan out in the sun, and let it dry that way. Once it's dry, which this is for the litter, which, you know, you don't have to do this, but it's just to make your hamster more happy, more comfortable, yeah. Once these dry, you just shred them up again with your hand. It looks just like what you buy in the store. Okay, for the bedding part, these this kind of paper can actually be found at like Dollar Tree for $1. I think bedding is probably the cheapest, $8. Litter is like $2. So you're actually saving a lot doing this. And you're probably thinking, well, what do you do in the wintertime? Well, if you do this all summer, you don't have to put it right in there with a hamster. You can, you know, put it in a bag and save it and have it all year round, like an endless supply, because that's pretty much what it is. It's recycling. It's good exercise for your hands and everything. Now, on the bedding part, you do want to make the strips just a little bit smaller than what you did on litter, because this is actual bedding, what the hamster will be sleeping in, and be a lot more comfortable. Just soak that in water for 5 minutes. Hot water. Hot water is best because it, I don't know, dissolves easier, faster. Cold water might take 10-15 minutes. Not really sure. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. Just don't use paper that's got any kind of ink in it, like newspaper. If you do use newspaper and you soak it long enough, you can actually get most of the ink out, which will make it where it's not poisonous. I wouldn't recommend that, but that can be done. And once this gets done, we'll ball it up and put it in the pan. When it dries out, we'll just shred it. Not really shredding, I mean, you're just doing like this right here, and it just falls into little pieces. And it'll be done, it'll be dry, ready to go in with your hamster. And because hamsters are naturally skittish, you always want to leave a little bit of their original bedding that has their smell and everything on it, so they don't think they're in an awkward place. They stay pretty comfortable. And that's pretty much how it's done. Do-it-yourself hamster bedding and litter. I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what you think. So this is a before picture. I've taken everything out, his little toys and all that. And get all this out of the way. And wash it out with a hose, let it dry, then put in the new packing, and I'll show you what it looks like after that's done and after everything's put back in. This is with the new bedding put in. The reason this space right here is empty is that's where this in the corner, his little litter box is going to go. And then everything's going to go around that. And he has his hut that goes there. And another hut that actually goes inside of there. Makes him nice and snug. And along with all of his toys and stuff. So, that's how it's done. And they love it. It's nice and comfortable.